Okay, look, I never, ever thought I would make a video dabbling in politics. It sounds gross to me. Up until this point, I've basically had an Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of approach.
Oh no, I'm not brave enough for politics.
And if you think that I'm gonna reveal my own political feelings in this video, I'm not. But as much as I can resent this topic, this video is, unfortunately, about politics, okay, baby? So get hyped. Woo! No more clipboards, okay? We're Trump, Biden, Jeffrey Epstein. I'm sorry, clipboard. That was very mean. And now you're all wet. So the other night, I went and saw the film Superman. And what did I think about it? Drum roll, please. Just kidding. That's unnecessary because it was fine. It was okay. I mean... It had a good doggy, though. It had such a good boy. I like when he bit that bald guy. Bald people deserve to suffer. Just for the record, I only said that because of my own insecurity about balding. Just so you guys know. But when I started talking about this movie with other people, I found it fascinating that the movie didn't come up all that much. All of the talking points were essentially about the politics. But as I went to bed that night, I genuinely couldn't fall asleep thinking about that. But eventually, I rolled over and saw that it was 3 a.m. on the clock. And it hit me. You know, if this is something that's going to keep me up for 4 hours, maybe it's worth saying. Even if it is about politics. Point blank, the way this movie is talked about online is downright disheartening, and I'm not even talking about all of the Snyderverse stuff. Oh my gosh. The discourse around this movie has slowly morphed from discussion about a fun movie to political warfare. Oh my gosh, wait, hold on. This is gonna blow y'all's minds, hold on. Discussion about a fun movie to political warfare. I just bought the movie Warfare, it was in my car. Political warfare. You guys don't seem very impressed by this. I'm just gonna go put it back. And I'm not even attacking one side. I think they're both being ridiculous, okay? We all going stupid. Both sides are just taking all these little things from the movie and running wild with them. And it's like, stop doing that. People take this movie and they're like, it's about immigration. It's about racism. It's about the American way. It's about how America is evil. It's about Israel. It's about the discontinuing of the penny. Wait, no, that's not it. Sorry. Wait, dude, what are you talking about? Sorry. Oh, sorry, my bad. But when I saw this movie, I honestly wasn't thinking about any of that. Except for the penny thing. That guy was onto something. All I saw was a unifying film about what it's like to be human. It's a movie about a good-hearted guy who, shocker, wants to do some good. And it's a movie about a man with such a compassionate heart that he is willing to be beat and crushed into the ground just to save a little squirrel. However, he did not save the squirrel that I ran over yesterday. I can tell you that sucker splattered. But the optimistic spirit of this film transcended the screen and genuinely inspired me. And it made me feel like a kid again. Just a kid looking to the sky, hoping that tiny speck isn't a plane, but Superman himself. But alas, we live in the real world. A real, angry, divided, and fallen world. Where the only thing that conservatives and Democrats can agree on is that Lex Luthor sucks. He sucks, that bald guy. He should get bit by a dog. Oh, okay, good. He did. Look, art is subjective, and it's very special that we can all look at the same piece and get something different out of it. But before we scream and cry because we're so angry about what it means, I think we should also look at the director's intent. Because he's the one who made it? James Gunn has made his intent with this movie very clear. He was trying to make a film that would unite us, a film that could maybe close this hateful gap we've created between us. That's why I don't think it's an accident that the third act of this movie is about a giant rift that divides a city, and it becomes up to Superman to bring it back together. But so many people have just clung on to James Gunn's words to paint this overly political picture, and if we all just read past the headlines, we'd know that's blatantly false. Actually, you know what? It actually seems like every time a political topic comes up, James Gunn actually averts the conversation. And it's kind of hilarious how in interviews, these people will actively try to get James Gunn to say something political, and he just goes, I'm actually confused why people are even saying it's political. so many people made such a big fuss about the immigration topic, and like, which is not even a word said in the film. Like, if you call this movie about immigration, that's like saying E.T. is an immigration movie. It's just two aliens showing up to Earth and wearing funny wigs. But when you get to the heart of the director's intent, you see it's not even about taking a political side. It's about treating people you disagree with kindness and treating them as your neighbor. How ironic. This movie is literally about being kind to those you disagree with. And what do? We turned it into a war with the people we disagree with. A film wanting to inspire us to do what's right and be kind to others was chewed up and spit out by our toxic movie culture. We took a unifying piece of art and ripped it in half, proving that Superman's worst fears are true. Kindness is old-fashioned. Superman may be able to stop the chasm in his world, but not ours. Because to tell you the truth, there are too many people who want the chasm to keep growing. It can be a lucrative business to keep a war going, okay? And much like Lex Luthor, there are a lot of people profiting and monetizing on things that are actively destroying our culture and our media literacy. Good gosh. And they are causing our minds to just grow more and more simple, like this movie proclaims that they will. The term political grifter is a term I've heard lots of times, but never understood till now. There are so many people who build empires of wealth just milking the other side of all of their anger. Out of all the movies recently that have been turned into a big culture boxing match, I feel like this has got to be the most sad one. We were handed a very unifying film that could honestly appeal to like anyone. Again, I thought it was okay, but it could honestly appeal to anyone. But it's not profitable to admit that, is it? So instead, we gotta scream about it. The tagline for this movie encourages all of us to look up, which is actually really hard for me right now because the sun is literally right here. It's literally reflecting in my face. The tagline for this movie encourages all of us to look up, but we didn't listen. We would rather turn our eyes to glare at the people we disagree with across the chasm. You know, there's a quote from this movie that is part of the reason I wanted to make this video because it kept me up last night and it's still keeping me up to this very moment. As soon as I say the quote, I'm just gonna like... It's from the scene where Superman feels lost in the world after he hears the second half of his parents' message. He had always thought that the message was to protect Earth, but he realized that the true message from his parents was to enslave Earth. But as Superman sits there not having a clue what to do next, his Pa Kent comes over and comforts him by saying this: "What you wanted the message to be says a lot more about you than the message itself ever could." This quote, I think, unintentionally sums up the discourse around this film perfectly. The way that so many people were just foaming at the mouth to turn this movie into another political spectacle tells me something about their hearts. All these people wanted the anger and the fighting and the political scrutiny, and when it wasn't in the actual movie, they had to make up their own agenda and their own message that they could push. And maybe James knew all of this was coming. Maybe it was inevitable. This movie's end credit scene shows Superman repairing a building after the Great Rift. But as he rebuilds it, the two pieces still don't quite go together. The crack still shows. Maybe the subtext of that is that James Gunn knew he could never unify everyone. It'll never fully go back together again. But as negative as that interpretation is, there's also another one. Maybe this building, much like the symbol on Superman's chest, is a symbol for hope. I mean, earlier it was a citywide divide, but now it's just a mere crack. Maybe he's saying this one movie can't make everything better, but maybe it is a stepping stone. Maybe more and more people will wake up to this nonsensical discourse, and maybe the next time that Superman flies by, the crack will be a little bit smaller. It'll still be there, but just a little bit smaller. And then the next time, a little bit smaller. I mean, after all, change takes time. Our culture is a lot like the one in the movie, because we were not ready for Superman, and we turned on him at the drop of a hat. But maybe, just maybe one day, he will finally get us to look over all of our political disagreements and look up.